benefits over just the thought of combining those two.
Yeah, you don't unless you want hatred from everyone on the face of the planet. That's not a good move.
Yeah, just look at. I mean, look at EA. They messed with Star Wars recently.
Well,
no, it's just shitty loot boxes.
That's the situation with EA.
That's like saying walking up to
EA just sucks.
Yeah, nah. EA is the best.
Same thing.
I already knew that with Command and Conquer. They ruined it for me.
I mean, fuck you, EA. You ruined Ultima.
Yep.
They turned it into a Steam-like service.
Origin, yep, pretty much. Yeah. It's pretty awful. Activision's pretty god-awful, too. In fact, notice how I haven't bought, like, a fucking AAA games in, like, AAA game in fucking forever.
Well, I can't say I didn't. I've bought one very recently.
The closest thing I've bought to a AAA game this year is Persona 5, and I don't think that counts.
I'm sorry, you said Persona 5. I automatically tuned out.
Oh, okay. I mean, the only other new game I bought was Danganronpa V3, which definitely would bring you back.
Ah, yes, definitely. That was surprisingly excellent.
That's fantastic.
I haven't bought AAA games because I don't just have enough money for them.
Well, yeah, they are expensive.
And my computer isn't the best one.
Well,
I bought mine like months ago, so...
The worst thing about AAA games is even though they're like fucking $60 American these days, they're like, oh, no. You have to pay more for extra content. Just cut as much as possible out of the main $60 game. Give us more money. You know, that's one thing you at least have to give Persona 5 and Danganronpa V3. They aren't pulling shit like that.
No.
True.
I have a feeling that EA will be voted for the third time for the worst company in America.
Again.
I don't know if I don't know just because technically Activision started this fuckstorm of loot boxes and like everybody fucking knows it.
Maybe they're trying for the worst company.
No, actually, it was
all first team for the awards.
It was Valve, I think.
Well, okay, technically Valve introduced in fucking Team Fortress 2 years upon years ago, but the difference is Team Fortress 2 is a free-to-play game since the point that they introduced them.
Yes, that's true. But
so it's not as
you could still pay for loot boxes in that
but
game.
But it's not as egregious in a free-to-play game because the company does need.
Of course it isn't, because they are not precluding basic content from you, or worse yet, they're not giving you 40 hours to grind to unlock one character unless you pay. They're not blackmailing you to get a full game.
Indeed. By the way, we've been streaming for about 5 minutes now.
God damn it, Ross! You constantly do this every time.
Because I knew we were going to be taught. I just listened to the conversation. I was like, you know what, this might be interesting to listen to, and it's not like it's going to be anything that's going to.
Because you know how I knew, Ross, that you had us online on streaming because
you monitored
it. I
know because I've got him on his Twitch thingy on Watch.
Get
an email.
Hi there, friend from the frozen north.
He is best friend from frozen north.
Yeah, it's your best friend. I thought he was mine, but it's yours.
See, pal, stop snoring. You're an audience member. You're not allowed to snore.
Oh man, so
time to play with the
up and running.
What was that?
No, Icebell is just the reason why we're still up and running.
Oh boy! And now a number.
By the way, are we running smoothly this time around?
It looks like it. Let me just check my nonsense. Yeah, I'm in the green, so it looks like there's no problems.
I see, pal. Are we all coming out balanced? You know, and nobody's higher than the others?
And now a song
Well, it might
from
be
Playing
actually
with...
a little high. I just put my mic down because of it. Actually, thank you for reminding me. So that should be more balanced.
From the power of math, nymph, sylph, sprite,
Hey! We're getting the incredible
Red
stew
Cat,
in 2018.
fairy, Satan.
What are we getting in 2018?
Oberon, Titania.
Finish him.
Are you done? The incredible stew.
Are you
whatever.
done then, Madhog?
You're playing with the big
Big
boys now.
girls now.
Everybody.
Okay, so Icy Pal confirms that things are going smoothly.
Good.
Yay! Now we can do the intro proper because no one likes anything fun.
Okay, you know what? How about this? Madhog, you do the introductions today.
I mean, I've done it already. There has to be somebody who hasn't done it by now.
Danton, Demon.
The fidget spinner,
Yes, the fidget spinners.
which is louder than usual.
That's because I have 2 of them.
Wait, let me help Ross.
Double spinner.
I don't
3
think
fidget spinners to help with this.
Okay. Okay.
Madhog could have fucking murder all of us.
This is a concerto. This is a freaking orchestra by now.
Okay, let's.
Sorry, I got a new fidget spinner today. I did not buy it. I swear to God.
Okay, let's have somebody do the intros, please.
Matti.
Okay. So this is Beachside role-playing campaign that we mentioned are having, and we, as our players, are there's Danton as Frank Sloan.
Yes.
Yes, that's his
Don't
name.
pay much attention, but
He's some kind of crazy inventor or something. And then there's Demonox as Demona, way too high assassin lady. And
Way too high. Wait, is she on drugs?
totally. I can see the rings in the unicorn.
tall.
as some kind of a towering monolith or something.
Towering monolith.
I got a towering monolith of things.
She's not that tall. Come on.
I think the term that you're looking for is Amazonian, but okay.
She's
And
Gal
then
Gadot.
there's Devar, who is Chloe. What's her last name again? Sometimes it's green, sometimes grey. No one knows.
It's Granger! I explained this! I explained everything!
Best introduction.
She's the queen of all the fairies and stuff. Lots of emotional issues. And then there's
Thank
me, hedonistic actor, who plays Rehoboam McNell, or Remy for short, some kind of a Jesus worshipping guy who just turned into a fairy and now has an identity crisis going on. And
Are you sure?
Get it? Because of the identity crisis.
It's like it should be on a. It's like it should be on a program. Who do you think you are?
Oh, it is funny on so many levels.
and then there's Madhog Time Master, although
Yes, you left the best for last.
Mad in general. Which is your calling name?
On Discord, yes.
Well, okay. Anyway, the guy who likes an Italian Karl Marx, he plays the
Italian Karl Marx, since when?
well, you have that black bushy beard that kind of looks like the Karl Marx beard, but
Look, I would be honored to have Karl Marx beard, but the truth is, this is not even a third of that epic beard. But thank you, I'll take it as a compliment.
Well, anyway, he plays many times. Who is this kind of a muscled beach guard or something? Or who likes to breakfast?
Yo, be pimping!
And then there's Paradise and Fairies, or Ross, who is the dungeon master of this whole mess. And you can see this either, or listen really, you don't actually need any visual aid for this, at either in a Ross's channel at Paradise and Fairies, or in Madhog's channel in Madhog Time Master in YouTube.
Yeah, okay, so guys, I'm just going to let you know, I actually let Matti do the recap of Dramatis Lectio every week, for a reason, shall we say.
That was hilarious.
I wonder why.
I can see.
Also, a quick correction just for the sake of accuracy, my channel is Fanboy Fairies, not Paradise and Fairies.
No wonder I never find it when I try to search.
Yeah, okay, so my original channel was Paradise and Fairies, but then it got burnt to the ground by copyright strikes, so...
Yeah, apparently
Jesus,
Icebound reckons that our characters are from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Oh,
that actually
gosh.
sounds amazing.
Imagine Chloe doing poses like as if she's on a Vogue magazine for men.
Oh my god!
I guess they instead of Vogue, they should call it Rogue. Am I right?
Son of a bitch!
And then Gintoki from Gintama comes in and says, whatever your name is, Jonathan Toaster or something.
I watched Gintama.
Sorry, that was a reference to J-Star's victory versus in the story mode.
I actually have, I don't have actually, do I have J-Star's victory? I might, actually. I know I fucking haven't played it, but I might actually own it.
I got it.
Yeah, me and Demonox played it a lot.
Okay. I just got my ass kicked in fighting games last night, like, so bad.
That's no good.
On stream!
That's no good!
I got $100 out of it, so it wasn't that bad.
It happens.
You win.
I'm okay at Arcane Heart 3. I'm definitely not okay at Persona 4 Ultimax.
Ay.
Yeah.
On the plus side, I got to watch hilariously Devar fly the spaceship.
Sweet.
Badly.
Load the spaceship with the rocket fuel!
It's great, as long as there's nothing solid in its way.
Look! That comment was just there.
That asteroid
And I didn't
going
see
your
it.
way, damn it.
So,
Legal asteroid planting.
I hate to interrupt the fun, but should we start?
Yes, we should
Potentially.
really start.
Okay, so this is a session that's going to take place over, I think it was, it's 2 weeks. So
Yes, 2
basically,
weeks.
you guys have the final, essentially free time of the campaign. So this is where they're going to get to deal with all of the underlying character issues that they haven't already. So
What?
Let's search the Tower of Chaos.
What are you talking about? My character is perfect.
Character drama? What's that?
Well, I mean, I had character drama for a while, but...
In real life? Sorry. That's actually not funny.
Yeah,
I'm going
that's
through
actually
character
true.
drama currently. Yay! I'm not even a character. I'm a fairy.
So fairies are not characters. Okay,
Nope.
gotcha. So,
So,
Okay,
there's
so
another
I-
character.
Good to know. Most
none
of
of
the
us
people
are
here are
characters.
fairies.
so your Garrett's so basically you're saying you're Garrett's wings fairy. Okay.
Oh God,
Most of the
no!
fairies
Please no!
seem to be most of the fairies seem to be rather carefree, so that would translate as a lack of character, because they don't have any conflicts.
No,
Also,
I see fairies can have conflicts.
Also, I see, Paul, I do not think a session counts as a room in Castlevania, as in the secret room before the final fight against Dracula.
Oh, remember when we played Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse? Dracula's Curse. I was
We're going Rob Zombie on this, huh?
Yes, I accidentally thought of Rob Zombie. Remember, okay. The thing that stood out the most was other than the inexplicably pink castle, who was us falling down the stairs constantly.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how you do in Castlevania 3. Anyway, so
I had a blast editing that episode because I added a series of funny noises and cartoon clips as the character falls down every time.
Yeah.
It sounds like that would be really exhausting, but yeah, it does sound like it would be funny.
No.
Okay, so we have a bunch of people here, 5 by my count, that, yes, I know! I can count! That, have things that they would wish to do. So, rather than, just have a free-for-all, like, I'm going first, I'm just gonna roll randomly. Haha! Dice!
I don't know. Dun dun dun.
The first
Okay.
dice roll of the night.
And hopefully the only one. So, we are starting with the character that I don't think has any idea what they're doing, which is Frank.
Go for it, dude. Search Tower of Cathedral Chaos.
Well, I suppose for continuity's sake, I might as well go see Remy.
Okay, well then you can easily find Remy. Remy is having, let's just say he is having something of, crisis with his new form.
He just kind of waves like going, Remy!
Yeah?
I'm sorry to bother you. I just want to ask you a favor, if you're willing to help, of course.
Well, always, I reckon.
Well,
I reckon.
given the fact that we're about to go to war, I believe we need some real firepower. And so I want your help, because your abilities, I might be able to translate them into a weapon or a few other items. So would you be willing to help in creating these?
Well, I ain't exactly a technical man, but I reckon I can always try.
Well, it's just that I want basically you to use your abilities on the few things, so then I can gather data and whatnot, as well as for the weapon in particular, it will be helpful for forging, I believe.
Well, yeah. Well, I do know how to maintain my rifle and stuff. But what do you exactly need?
Well, the idea is that your light magic for when we get to the tempering stage, then we can basically bless the metal parts with your light magic, so it can absorb it.
Okay, that sounds like neat. I didn't understood much about that, but I guess you can. I guess I leave the main things to you while I do the stuff you need me to do and stuff.
Yes, that's pretty much it. But is there something wrong, by the way, Remy?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't exactly told my parents yet that I've changed.
I see.
And if I don't make it out from hell, I'd like if things were kept that way, if you catch my drift.
Oh yes, I understand.
If I return, I shall tell, but then there's not really any point in revealing something like that, you know.
Yes, I get it. You don't want drama in the family. I get that.
Yeah. I mean, my demise will be quite big enough as it is.
But from what I gather, even if you were to die, Chloe could just bring you back.
Can she? I mean...
Well,
yeah.
She brought you back
yeah. I always keep forgetting that death has no meaning now. I mean... Can Chloe just use it incidentally? I mean, surely then some kind of consequences for her for playing God.
I'm not really aware of her limits, to be honest. I can't give you that answer.
Only that your intelligence may suffer from being too close to us too long.
Also, she literally freaked out for losing Constitution, or was it Charisma at some point?
No,
it was 1 point. It was 1 point. 1 point. My God.
1 point of what?
I think it was intelligence, actually.
Yeah, it was 1 point intelligence, and then she went nuts over and death everyone for intelligence.
Yes.
Half the street was barren from a destructive waste.
There was that one time in the Cathedral of Chaos in which you lost a point in Constitution, I think, and you freaked out.
Actually, no, it was intelligence. Because
it was intelligence. That's what he cares about.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's hard to watch myself in the mirror, you know. I keep thinking that I failed some kind of test that God put in front of me. To kind of that I wasn't that I allowed something that is worshipped as a pagan god by others to help me in my time of need, and didn't trust on his judgment. But I just hope that I could meet him at some point and talk things out or something. I mean, I don't claim that I'm as great of a man as Moses or Elijah, but I'm just so confused.
Welcome to the club.
I can't really answer much to that because I've not been in that situation before. After all, it's quite unique, your situation. But by sounds of it, we might be meeting him at some point. But first we have to kick Lucifer's ass first.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a...
I mean, if Satan is even the final boss...
That's not even his final form!
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea what Ross is going to throw at us once we descend hell. It might be obvious, but it might not be.
And thus the vampire demon cats were unleashed.
Yeah. I've read the Book of Revelations, and fighting against Satan is pretty much what's caused the end of history. And if there really is something bigger than the one who rebelled against his own creation, then I don't know what to expect.
Well, that's
dancers?
No, not dancers. Not belly dancers.
I said ballet, but who cares?
Belly ballet dancers.
The ultimate dancers. On the planet, help me.
Reference.
A character that even Madhog doesn't know the name of.
That is a fair possibility.
Well, all I could say is we could probably just cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay. Do you have a family, Frank?
No, I'm afraid I'm the only one. My parents died when I was a few years back.
Oh. Well, you're always welcome to visit me and Ma and Pa and my siblings and stuff.
Oh, thanks.
Adopted.
That's why I had a chuckle here, because I just read what Icy Pal.
Why, what Icy Pal said.
Apparently, we're not actually fighting God, we're fighting God Kefka.
No. No. I am going to quit this campaign right before the final boss if Kefka is involved.
If Crazy Mad suddenly starts playing the first few notes, Madhog just goes, "No, you're leaving."
Dancing
madly, yes.
Right.
I am going to sing "Hello, My Baby" as I exit. I swear to God.
But, Remy, if there's anything you ever want to talk about, like get something off your chest, I'm always here to listen at least.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now that I've gotten all this... all this new magic and stuff, I don't even need to read to become a doctor. I've pretty much made that profession pointless.
You're like a character from Yu Yu Hakusho.
On the plus side, it's certainly a lot cheaper than studying for 4 years in grad school.
Yeah,
no debts.
Commentary.
Remy, when I was a doctor, I would have given anything to have the skills and the powers that you have.
Well, what the reading didn't went to complete waste. I mean, I know a few words in Latin now, so...
I thought you learned that from the Bible.
Okay, so... Shall we go do the things?
Yes.
It's not suspicious or anything, Remy.
What else we came here to do?
Should we do? Close enough.
The thing.
The thing.
Yes.
Wink, wink.
Penis taster. Oh, God.
No.
We are not creating fetus taster.
Shifty eyes. Shifty eyes. Look, okay. Last time we saw fetus taster, she unleashed their evil brood.
And we're not creating slime man either.
Oh, slime man!
But yeah,
now research with fetuses.
You could summon Apple from another world potentially, if you want reinforcements.
Oh boy! Technically, this is all taking place in the Yumeverse, so this is basically is phase 1, the end of phase 1.
Demona met Apple.
Yes. Well, Apple's daughter. Well, no, she met Apple
herself.
Yeah, she met Apple Senior.
Oh my God!
Apple.
Apple Senior. That's okay.
Anyway, Frank just goes like, "Okay, let's go to my workshop, Remy. We will create a weapon that even the devil himself will be afraid of."
No.
It's going to be a film by Adam Sandler.
No.
Oh gosh, now we're gonna have the dramatically gay duo.
No, it will be the ultimate creation. The mask, the son of the mask.
No, it's going to be a copy of Pixels.
Anyway, that's all I've got, so...
Actually, this is set in 2001, right? Didn't Lil Nicky come out recently at that point?
Yes.
Oh, you mean the time Adam Sandler was actually considered, dare I say,
good?
Funny?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, that takes you back, doesn't it?
The times we lived in.
I never lived through that period, so no.
Oh God.
You mean
actually, Little Nicky came out in 2000.
The only legitimately
well,
funny
Nicky
Adam
is-
Sandler movie is Happy Go Lucky.
You mean Happy Gilmore?
Okay, so I hate to distract us from conversing about Adam Sandler, but actually, Frank, I would love for nothing to change the topic.
Yeah.
What was it? Happy Punch Lucky or something? Team Paul Thomas Anderson
Okay,
director?
50 times first is come on.
I don't know. But that's all I had, so whoever's next.
Alright.
Dice
Dice roll, go! Remy!
Well, that was perfectly planned, wasn't it?
Oh wow!
Hey, Remy, I'll think of something to do.
Yeah.
So you just had a whole scene with Frank. Frank, have you got any emotional problems you want to talk to Remy about?
Can I sense where Alexia is?
You can have Chloe divine her location if you wish. It'll take you a trip out of town to see her, so that will basically consume the 2 weeks, going to her and, chatting.
Yeah, I don't know any of these other guys, so...
Okay. Makes sense.
To be honest, Remy hasn't actually been here that long. It's only been pranked.
Makes sense. Okay, so
I mean, have you seen that lady? She's like a towering monolith.
But gigantic one, like let me up behind the cathedral.
She's 192.
Oh,
It's
chill.
tall, but not that tall. Come on.
It's like King Kong sized.
Oh, she's only 192.
Yeah, man. What? Did you think she was 7 meters tall?
Yeah, I thought she was at least 2 meters.
No, it's
She's
192.
taller than many.
Which is more or less my real height in real life.
I know.
Actually,
She's taller than
Manny's Manny's actually 2 centimeters smaller than I am in real life. I don't know why I said 190. I wanted to have a round number, I guess.
Wow, you're so humble.
Okay, so trying to okay, so trying
Meters.
so trying to get back to the game. So did you want to seek out Alexia or Remy?
Yeah, I want to see out Alexio.
Okay, so you go see Chloe, who is able to divine her location.
I have divined her location.
So
There
She
are
seems-
things I'd like to talk with her.
she
If,
seems to be on the move for reasons, mostly trying to keep Lucas out of trouble and out of jail, considering the stuff with his church. It takes you some time to track her down,
Oh, we didn't roleplay the scene
following
with
the trail.
Chloe.
I thought you said she was on the moon.
No, on the move, not on the moon.
I'm wailing on the moon.
Fly me to the moon.
So when you catch up with her, she's in a relatively cheap-looking hotel in Missouri, of all things.
Missouri.
Oh, I had to go that far?
Yep.
Damn.
That's quite a bit.
Fly me to Missouri. Doesn't sound quite as fancy, but it's still a place you have to go to further your storyline.
Okay, come on.
I
Okay,
can go on.
No.
No, please stop.
So, but yes, you're finally able to track her down to a particular hotel room. You arrive in front of it using your fancy car, because you have one of those. Wait a minute, no, it was Danton that had the car.
Yes,
Yes.
it was made.
No,
up.
you're just flying around with your new wings now. You're just like, this is kind of convenient for something.
But
Dad,
who was,
can I borrow your
driving
car?
the car? But who was driving the car? It was Lance Storm.
Or maybe Remy just ask his dad to borrow him a car.
I guess you could.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't want to attract he doesn't want to attract attention with the wings and stuff.
Especially since he's gold!
It's gold!
Gold!
Okay, so, you, arrive there and park your father's car. Sounds really weird. But anyway, so, and then you find yourself in front of the room that she's supposedly staying at.
I knock.
Okay.
Paper light.
You, just hear a voice from inside, like, who is it?
It's Remy.
Remy? Remy?
You know
Yeah. Rehoboam McNell, if you recall. I don't think if you remember my name, but
Your voice sounds really familiar. Hold on. Then, you see her timidly unlock the door and take a look at you like, she just says matter-of-factly, why are you here?
I'd have a request of you. Is it okay if I come in?
I suppose so. I doubt you would be foolish enough to try to attack us at this point, especially in a crowded place like this, so yes. It's just you alone, correct?
Yeah. I made
Alright.
a promise and I entered the gateway.
Okay, so, he invites you in. Lucas is, of course, in there. He doesn't seem interested in conversing with you.
Hi.
And, he just kind of is pouting in the corner, and, Alexio just says, he's been rather obstinate as of late. I really don't know what to do with him.
I'm a 5-year-old.
Took away my computer!
She took my fanfiction reading privileges.
I guess therapy could help.
You guess what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I guess therapy could help.
Therapy.
Alexio just says, you are aware that we're technically wanted fugitives now, right?
Ah, right.
That'd be kind of difficult to get, but regardless, you must have something fairly important to talk about if you went through all the trouble of tracking us down.
Yeah.
So, sit down.
Okay. Recently, something happened to me, and I kind of changed, and I dropped off the
Glamour.
illusion spell and saw my true form.
And
I'm
just, like,
shiny.
She just looks at you and kind of tilts her head. Like, I can't say I've ever seen this before.
Yeah. I was forced to rely on Titania's help in order to return to the books of the living, and I'm not, because of doing that, I'm not so sure if Lord wants me back in. I mean, I'm being told that he's a forgiving sort, but I have so many doubts recently.
Not in the days of the Old Testament, he wasn't.
Oh man.
Whose books read?
Alexiel just simply says, I can empathize with you. I truly can. Let's just say myself and the creator aren't exactly on speaking terms anymore either.
He deleted my Twitch account.
Oh yes, God is a Twitch account. Yo, sup, I'm Godly God 123, Master of the Universe. Bro!
You're not speaking terms. What did you do, if I may ask?
It's happened a long time ago. Much longer than you've been alive. Much longer than, well, dispel anyone that you possibly would have known as being alive, but long ago, I was sent to watch over a mortal. Many times us angels are giving that duty. A mortal that, you know, may have some important role to play in history. I broke my oath and fell in love with that mortal. So I was cast down.
Oh, yeah, well.
That mortal has since long died, unfortunately.
I'd like to hope that a god at having some sort of I guess you could call it character development between the testaments. But
well, unfortunately, God is a lot more forgiving with humankind than angel kind.
Oh.
We are held to a higher standard, if that makes sense.
Oh.
Yeah, I see. Well, the reason I came here is because I need to go. That because of my new form, I have new duties, such as freeing the fairy kind from its imprisonment. And if me and my new friends fail, I thought I'd ask you if you could, because of being the servant of the same god as I, that you'd take care of my family and act as the guardian angel. But if you're not in God's favor, then I guess my trip was kind of pointless.
Not necessarily. Yes, I'm on the run, but that does not necessarily mean I am a callous being that does not understand your plight. I know it better than you may know. Truthfully, the only thing that still binds me to this world, the only thing that's kept me from becoming a true fallen one, is my love for him still. And even though he has long since died, I still linger in this world, looking over those that carry his blood. And strangely enough, I found something that I was not aware of before. Only because of your coming here, really.
What's that?
Surely you must have an idea. I think there's a particular reason why you've been fairly... Well, I don't want to use the term obsessed, but I've certainly noticed that I've caught your eye on numerous occasions, and I think it's more than just me, my appearance as an angel.
Well, I have been being hinted that I could have angelic blood in me, so I reckon that you might know something about it, or I don't know. Maybe.
Yes, I pretty much do. When I saw you at first, I did have my suspicions, but right now it's really plain to see that you have angelic blood in you.
Why are you chuckling, Demon Ox?
I love reading the chat.
Oh god, no. Oh god, no. Sorry, so trying to keep on solemn tone, I apologize.
Sorry.
So she simply says, it's more than likely, in fact almost certain, that you're probably one of my descendants.
Dun dun dun.
As I don't know of any other angel that has fallen, definitely in this area. So it's unlikely that your blood really could have come from anywhere else. I mean, to be fair, some of my descendants have had multiple children, and at times I've had to make decisions on who I would have to actively watch over. And I think that's how you got, how your line left my sight, and to that I apologize. I don't know if you consider your bloodline a blessing or a curse at this point, but I'm likely the one to blame.
Oh, shiny.
I haven't decided that yet, honestly, and I can't decide it until this whole debacle is over. And maybe if I get to speak to God, but I'll see if I'll have the opportunity.
Just...
Yeah, I have to wonder that if we have some kind of a connection there in a family tree, but I've always wondered that what I'm going to do with it. I mean, you are my relative, neat. It doesn't really change that much.
Well, you are also aware that makes Lucas your relative as well, as flawed individual as he may be. He just pouts more. I'm still not over it.
Privileges.
Yeah.
I mean, I still will stick with this one tooth thick and thin. Blood is thicker than water, they say. At least that's a human expression I've heard. Regardless, though, I also would be inclined to honor your request too, as
it's
blood of mine as well, even if it may be from a different line.
Yeah, I reckon that they have a brighter future as the followers of the Lord's word, and so it will be logical if the protector will be his servant.
I can't call myself his servant anymore, but I will do my best.
Well, kind of on again, off again servant.
Part-time servant.
See, this guy, breaks a slight smile. It's just like,
That's not how faith works.
oh god. Oh god. Mighty pal, stop it! I'm trying to have a serious scene here.
This is Metatron's God Secretary. He is not present at the moment. Would you like to leave a message?
Oh god. So Alexio just simply says, listen, I don't have any hard feelings towards you or your companions about what happened. I truthfully never have. I have only honored Lucas's very flawed decisions. If only he would listen to me. Pouts more. He wouldn't be hiding out in a motel room, and instead may, still have a organization that's taking care of his needs. Sorry.
An ice cream.
Yeah.
So I will not allow him to forget what has transpired, and he will repent in his own way. I'm certain of it. So regardless, but yes, if you are in need, I would be more than happy to help if it's within my capacity.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That was all I was really asking for.
No.
I wish you both good luck and blessings in your future.
If
in case we don't meet again.
I've heard something from Kelly. I can make some guesses as to what your objective is, and it's your life is in far more danger than mine, so you take care of yourself. Truthfully, I am only really... the only person that's really in danger here is Lucas. As I doubt the forces of humankind could truly bring me down. Or at least the mundane ones. Although I would be loath to take a life.
Yeah, but as someone who was planning to be a doctor, I can say that our vow of Hippocrates that does ties our hands in when dealing people in need and stuff, so I guess you don't need to be that afraid of the policeman in case you decide to find some help.
Well, again, I fear the fate of my ward here, who most certainly is subject to humankind's laws.
Does she technically count then as a legal immigrant?
I guess in the most technical. What, are they going to deport her to heaven?
Deport.
So are they going to kill her?
Look! They can be deported to heaven. Great! How do we send her there? No clue.
Okay, I can shoot her. Maybe she dies and goes to heaven.
Maybe she's a witch. We can burn her.
Well, oh, no, wait. If she's a witch, can't she just kill us? Whoa,
can we burn her?
Exactly.
Does she float?
No, man. Okay, so anything else, Remy?
No. Farewell for now. And I extend my hand.
Well, it's not much, but would you allow me to at least buy you... Like, it's not much, but would you allow me to at least buy you a meal? You certainly came all the way out here, and while I don't have much in the way of money, it would be rude of me to not extend you some level of hospitality.
Well, I guess meal is fine, but I guess I should go rather as soon as possible. There are preparations to make, but I appreciate the offer.
Alright, then she literally goes out and gets everyone McDonald's.
What?
Eat like kids.
And she just simply says, I'm sorry, I'm in a motel room, there's no kitchen here.
Just get happy meal.
I'm alright with this. This is as American as it gets.
America, fuck yeah,
well,
eating burgers at McDonald's. Okay.
Well, right. I shall eat these then on my way back to Alfheim. So take care.
Be safe in your travels.
Yeah. And I hug Alexio.
She hugs you back.
Yeah. And
then they kissed.
Oh
no! and as I walk towards the door, I pat Lucas on the shoulder and say, "Take care, brother," and leave.
He just kind of huffs at you. You know, you don't have to be so antisocial. You should play with your little friends.
I don't want to know.
Now you can tell that she's obviously mocking him.
Yes, I see, pal. They cannot go to Hesburger.
Yeah,
What is Hesburger? I don't even know what that is.
Hesburger is a Finnish fast food restaurant chain.
Oh, how is it?
Fast food in Finland.
How
What
is it? I mean, it's always something I'm always curious about is
Food.
calming restaurants in other countries.
I think it's all right enough.
I've had this ever since I went to Canada and found that the fast food was markedly better than America's. So yeah, okay, good to know.
And Remy drives to the sunset while eating a Big Mac.
Yes, America.
Please tell like country music guy playing at the same time. Just some country music playing.
Yeah, and
Big Mac.
Ah,
Like
I am
next thing.
American badass.
Oh no.
yeah, he's
American
eating a burger while
males,
playing.
American males.
Yes, he's eating the burger while playing with his Happy Meal toy in the car.
He's
Oh god, what came out in 2001 that would be a Happy Meal toy? I mean, especially at that point.
Monsters
Oh god.
Inc. Shrek.
Sorry.
Hold on, you know what? Fuck it. We're actually gonna look this up.
Oh god.
Authenticity, motherfucker.
Yeah, if you go for the Disney movies, then the newest one's what, Atlantis?
Oh no, no, absolutely not.
I don't think they even marketed Atlantis as a Happy Meal toy.
Well, Monsters Incorporated this there, definitely.
Atlantis' toys got lost at sea.
Oh yeah, from Atlantis Toys. Depending on what time it is. You could have had I think it was a Buzz Lightyear.
Oh yeah, and DreamWorks released Shrek. Just
Yes. Somebody once told me the
Happy
world
Meals,
was
Meals.
gonna
They were
go
the
around.
released.
Oh god, okay, so yeah, it looks like it was Atlantis.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Alright.
Really?
The
Atlantis,
Disney,
the Lost Empire.
the Disney film everybody
Yes.
wants to forget.
Yep.
Well, I thought it was okay. I mean, it's
I thought
nothing
it was
bad.
rather average.
Okay, so
mean-
you're having Atlantis, the Lost Empire toy, and you're like, what the shit is this?
Oh, yeah. I've been out of the loop of the newest movies.
What, were you raised in a barn? Oh, wait a minute.
Well, he was raised,
He was raised in
a...
a church.
Aww.
It
Anyway.
was a church barn. It's like the two worst things combined.
Oh.
Anyway, so that ends the seeing of Remy McNeil.
My toys
Next.
will go.
And now can I go to sleep? Good night, everybody.
I mean, if you really want to, Marty, I'm not gonna stop you, but you're always free to come and go as you please. But your color commentary does add things to the proceedings.
Fine, I'll stay for your sake.
Aww. It's like he cares.
I feel all nice and warm now. No, wait, that's Radiator.
Next is the episode of Many Times.
Oh no!
Oh,
Next
good.
week on Many Times.
Oh, although at the same time, while you're doing something else, I can write on my own stuff.
Da 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 da.
I'm
Right.
still thinking what the hell to do with my stuff.
I still have
Right.
to write the flavor
so-
text for hell.
Okay.
Adam Sandler movie theater?
No!
Okay. Somebody once told me the world was gonna blow. He's actually singing that while he's walking home.
Okay.
Most popular song of 2001, I'm sure.
I'm not even gonna look it up. I don't know.
Okay. I mean,
fan.
it was in Shrek, so it's either that or the other one. Smash up all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so Manny goes home. I guess to check out on the old wife and the baby.
Okay.
So how are they doing?
Okay, well, you just see, sorry. Cindy is going over paperwork regarding the church. She's also gnawing on some kind of snack. You imagine that looks like crackers.
So is the baby sleeping?
The baby is currently sleeping at the moment.
Yeah, Manny goes to see the baby sleep, looks longingly like a father, which he is. As a reminder, he's a father. Because you might forget about that.
No, I haven't.
I haven't.
Yeah,
Believe
it's,
me, none of us have.
I mean, it's a possibility. So he actually asks, I see you are a method actor, Ross.
No.
So he was going to ask the wife to have a minute of her time to discuss about important things regarding their immediate future.
Okay, you just see her pull up her gaze towards you, like with a confused but somewhat cute expression on.
Is this a bad time? I can come back later if you're busy.
She just says, "Oh, this is just boring financials. Please talk. Get me away from this."
Yeah. Oof. Can we sit on the sofa, honey?
Sure. Let me just file this thing away that I can actually come back to it later. Give me a second.
Yes.
So
And
she
also stop
reshuffles
eating.
the papers, and then she just sits next to you, still holding the box of crackers in her hand.
Huh.
She was
So-
like, I'm sorry, I skipped lunch today.
Okay, so Manny is fidgeting a little bit. He seems like he's nervous to breach up a new topic.
What's
But,
wrong, hon?
Well, I'll just get. Well, I guess I'll just get down to the point, honey.
Hmm?
I want a divorce.
What?
But
What?
you get divorce. All the women divorce.
I would like to formally request a divorce.
Dun dun dun.
She just looks kind of confused, and then like, why?
I mean, honestly, honey, I think this has been a long time coming. Do you remember when we got together the first time and you proposed to me on the very same day, and I immediately accepted it?
Yes.
I mean, looking back at it, I think the reason why I was so rushed to accept your wedding proposition was because I was in a difficult emotional place at the time. I never thought anybody could ever, love me or like me, so as soon as somebody gave me that kind of attention, I jumped at the opportunity, not even questioning or second questioning if that was the right thing to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't regret starting a family with you. I don't regret our daughter. I will never, ever regret that. And I intend to be there as a father and help this family in any way. But honestly, honey, if I had to be honest, I come to the conclusion that I don't love you. I mean, all this time, it's not just you, it's the both of us. I have been a massive screw up, and you have been...
That's true.
And you have been a rather abusive, controlling, overpowering, and overwhelming entity throughout my entire last year and a half, and I am seldom to remember any truly happy moment that we had together. You were mostly controlling or being extremely possessive of me, and I don't think I still want this. I still want to be a father to our daughter, and I still want to be part of her life and help in any way possible. But I just don't think we should be together. I think it would be best for the both of us to not be together.
you just see her just kind of thinking for a second. Like, I definitely can. I respect your feelings, but I also know that you're pretty stressed at the moment. You're about to go into a battle for your life.
Actually, no. A funny story. I had sex with a god, so all the stress, poof, gone. If anything, my mind is more clearer than ever.
You had sex with a god.
Oh yes, it's a funny story. I mean, we went to the world of Titania. I met king and god of fairies, and he was into me and I was into him, and it was more of a spur of a moment situation, but I went at it, follow my instinct, and it was nice. It was a good time, honestly. Probably the most nerve relieving moment I had. And no, to be fair, this decision that I have with you is something I've been ruminating for a while, but I never truly had the courage to broach to you, because honestly, I've been afraid of you for the better part of 2 years. I've been deathly afraid of you, knowing how powerful you are, knowing how controlling, shall we say, you tend to be, and it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair to you. It wouldn't be fair to me. It wouldn't be fair to the baby to continue this charade. I had to be honest. I had to do this, and for the betterment of us as people individually, I think this is the right thing to do. I'm sorry, Han. I don't love you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, Manny's daughter is going to turn into Chandler Bing.
And
Honestly,
she just simply tilts her head and like, okay, I understand and respect this. In fact, you are aware that a vow of marriage in fairy kind is not considered a lifelong commitment.
What?
No, it's the vow is for as long as love shall last.
Oh, well, I guess that...
they can divorce and get cheated anything.
Well, that's awfully convenient. We can skip on all the legal papers and just get to the chase.
So we can have the marriage annulled at any time without any problem. Just have it known that I do care for you still.
I care... Yes, no, I mean, I care for you too, but... I mean... It's not... love. I mean, it's not that kind of love. It's more like of a I'm close to you, you're close to me. We occasionally are on the same page. We can be besties, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Certainly.
Oh god.
With benefits.
No, well, I mean, not necessarily, but shut up, boy. Voices in my head. Shut up.
Fairies are always friends with benefits.
Oh look, there's a meteor.
I mean, there is no taboos against it, so.
Oh look, there's a meteor approaching Earth. Quick, get Bruce Willis on the phone.
So, sorry. C just simply says, well, I mean, it's unexpected to me. Perhaps I should have been looking a little harder at things. I've been, I guess, I don't know, I've been burying myself in work for the church for a while, to be truly honest. The whole, I don't remember much about what happened in hell, but I remember enough to know that I never ever want to think about it again. So I guess I've been kind of running away from everything. I mean, I've been told about what may happen with our child, and I'm honestly a little scared about that too. You may...
I think it's fair to say we both are.
And I'm sorry if I ever came off as this awful, controlling ball and chain of a wife. I guess I didn't sit down and consider your feelings, and you never called me out on it the way that you really should have. We needed to talk a lot more than we did.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if I've been a massive screw up pretty much all the time, and I never really had the courage to confront you on anything.
To be fair, I'm a screw up too. I mean, yeah, okay, so you see that I have a position of power in the Church of Titania, and I that's all that I focused on, I guess. And the fact that I didn't divert my attention to what was most dear is obviously a fault of mine, and I'm truly sorry for that. I think we maybe just need to get through the situation that's at hand right now, and give ourselves some time to think, and maybe consider starting over.
Well, personally, I think I'm not saying we should make a neat cut. We should cut our relationship like that. And I say I do believe, it's important that we keep in touch, especially for our daughter, but I think it might be a much more healthy, this might be a much more healthy environment, a much more healthy family environment, if we are not constantly on each other's neck, so to speak. If we change our status, so to speak, from a marriage sans love to just being friends and being there for each other if needed, because I think this is, in the long term, this is the best approach for the emotional development of our daughter, and with a lot less toxicity in the air, so to speak. And
may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is it because you don't like women?
Honey.
I mean, you kind of went out and being the male god, so I mean, I understand that we don't have taboos about such things, but I mean, if you really didn't like women like that, I would like to know from the beginning.
Honey.
Yes.
I'm bi.
I knew that, but I don't know. You seem to like men a lot more.
The truth comes out. He's not really bi. He's gay.
mean, honey, how many times have you actually seen me having sex with anyone in the last hour, in the last year and a half? It wasn't you.
Hour and a half. How many times has it was hour and a half?
Well, he's a former porn star, so he gets active. But you get what I mean, damn it.
Actually, you had sex with an orgy in the Cathedral of Chaos.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, but it wasn't.
You
orgy.
had an orgy?
It was an orgy, which means an orgy implies multiple genders in it. All of the genders.
Yes.
All of the genders. Including blue.
Yes.
Dabba-dee, dabba-die.
Tabadee, tabadai.
I'm pretty sure Manny is blue.
So you just see us say, okay, but that just because you roll both ways doesn't mean that you don't necessarily have a preference.
Honey, let me put it this way. Have I ever shown you my greatest masterpiece.
Yes.
Snow White and the 7 horny transgenders.
Yes, you've shown me that one.
7 times.
I wish you would stop playing it around the baby, though.
Well, fair. Well, I mean, okay, fair enough.
There you win the argument.
I mean, Roy has demon blood in it. We really don't need to help it along, do we?
What are you talking about? Snow White is a beloved family classic.
Not the young version.
Okay, so to be fair, it's not exactly my fault if the cover of my film is very similar to the cover of the Disney DVD.
Oh. Regardless, yes, maybe.
Look, it's not because you're a woman. That's stupid. It's simply because
I'm a woman.
Because
it's
because I don't think I love you that way, but not because you're a woman, because you are you, and it's not nothing I can say right now will make it better. So I think to shut up now because I think I might just dig my grave the more I speak. That's usually what happens with me anyway. I'm such a screw up, you see. Damn it.
Fine. But how much do you actually know about fairy marriages?
I know what you just told me about it. I guess. So do you see? Maybe it was not such a great idea for me to jump right into the whole marriage business to begin with.
The other thing about it is that the commitment is mostly that I spare your children for as long as love shall last.
I'm sorry, did you just say you were going to bury a
No, bear my...
alive?
Yeah.
No. God, the fucking, Skype decides to, get all wonky now. Not Skype, I mean Discord. Yeah, the audio quality dropped off, I couldn't understand anything. But anyway. Might be why you didn't hear me properly.
I mean, it sounds like a bury, but that might just be because of your voice.
I heard.
Skype is just being. I'm sorry, Discord is just being awful right now. I can't even hear you guys. Well, is it? Yeah. Oh, okay. That's because my internet quality went down. Okay, it looks like it's just jumped back up. So say things. Hopefully, I can understand you now.
Oh, that's going to be great to listen to.
Okay, yeah, okay, it's back. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, back to the original point, which was fairy marriage. Something to know about it?
That basically my commitment is to bear your children. So, I mean that.
Okay, it definitely sounds. When you say bear, when you say bear, you say bear, but then you go immediately or and. It sounds like it is attached, so it sounds like a bury or children.
Maybe it's just because of how your accent hears it. I don't know.
What? That doesn't make any freaking sense!
How your accent hears it?
What the hell are you talking about?
Your accent
that sounded better in my head, but...
You crazy American man!
Oh, man. Maybe it's because I suck at English, and I'm the native English speaker.
I don't know.
No, that is the VAR.
Hey. And Danton
and Demonox. You're not even speaking English, you're speaking America. American!
Oh god. But, okay, so any type of tension from the scene is completely gone. Thanks. Okay.
Very much.
I mean, I didn't... Well, it's...
But anyway, so she just simply says, so, I mean, there wasn't a huge amount of commitment in it to begin with. That's kind of why I didn't think twice of this proposing it at the time.
Well, I'm sorry, but you see, I used to be... I mean, I used to be human, and I there are certain values that have been imparted onto me in the most violent way possible. So it's
What?
hard to.
What?
I mean, no, never. No, you never. You mind. I'm metaphorically speaking. So it's hard to let go of certain preconceptions when it comes to marriages, and those are always commitments. And even if we did not get married together, raising a family is a commitment unto itself, regardless of whatever status it is. And I do not intend to back down on that commitment. That is a journey that I'm willing to see through the end. I'm just saying that I just want to clarify what my feelings are in this, so that we can actually become better people in the future. Being more open with each other. And
sounds nice.
So now you know, and knowing is all the fairy.
So she just simply says you, so you wouldn't have a problem with me bearing another man's children?
Honey, is there something you need to tell me?
Absolutely not, but I'd like to know where we stand.
I mean, well, let's just... Manny's going to take her hands, trying to pat on the hand in a sort of reassuring but slightly condescending way. Let's just work out with one, and then we'll see. Okay?
Very I mean, as many husbands as they fancy.
I mean, it kind of honest. I think we're already having some trouble raising one, so maybe we are not ready for a second one.
I think what she was referring to is, do you mind her sleeping with other guys to have a...
Oh, sure. Do whatever you want. It's your life, damn it.
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
Okay, sure. Do whatever you want. It's your life. I mean, I would bear Oberon's child if I could.
But not Titania's?
I mean, if I have to be honest, she's not quite my type. She reminds me a bit of you, if I have to be honest.
A giant thunderbolt strikes down from the sky and hits him in the head.
Well, I don't know how to, I don't know whether to consider that a compliment or an insult, so I'll just...
Good! See you around! And Manny leaves the house.
She's just kind of blinking.
Manny just leaves the house, running, singing to Smash Mouth. Not a care in the world. A huge burden.
Pie hits him in the eye, and Manny bit the dust.
A huge burden has been lifted from his heart, and now he can focus on the future, namely going to hell and possibly die forever.
Yeah, technically, Christian manager that's till death you part. You've technically died already, so.
Yeah, true.
I mean, if you're going with the traditional definition, then I guess times by now. But regardless, I'm happy that this is all dealt with. That, if there had to be one lingering, issue with Manny's character, it was definitely this difficult marriage situation, and I'm glad it was sorted out. And I was especially delighted by everyone's reaction as I said I want a divorce.
But
clearly not expecting this. That was great.
I'm sorry, I tried to inject a little bit of comedy with asking if you like dudes.
No, I mean, everybody said what, and that was great. I was so happy. I wasn't
paying attention.
Well,
yeah, I had no idea how to feel about that.
I mean, it was the writing was on the wall. If you look back at all the other interactions Manny had with Cindy.
Well, that's true, but you haven't had many on screen for a long time, though.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Well, I mean, that's also writing in the writing. It was conspicuous by absence. I mean, in that sense. So I'm glad.
As soon as you said divorce, I thought basically of a train just splattering you across the wall.
So I'll say this: I'm glad I contributed to this roleplay session with a character that actually did not have a running arc as we speak. And I'm glad I gave you a moment to remember. I mean, how many times can you claim that somebody in a D&D campaign had a divorce?
Don't test your look on that statement.
Honestly, usually in the course of a D&D campaign, no one really has a chance to get married.
So it's two things then. Two things then I did.
Yeah, the thing is though, she could actually have as many husbands as she...
Yeah, I mean, basically she was like, yeah, fairy marriages are polygamous.
Yeah, they can. You could technically be one of 6 husbands if she fancied it. That's why you haven't had much time with her. She's had 5 of her husbands.
I mean,
you only have her 1 day of a week.
I mean, I don't mind, but the important thing is that we got to finally talk it out. Like people should do every once in a while. No, understanding each other instead of just bottling emotions up until they explode, and then there is a double murder suicide case for the police for Frank Sloan specifically to solve. So yes, I'm glad we sorted that out.
Yeah, we should listen to the alien. We're glad we sorted it out.
The alien? I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, I'm just joking with you.
Okay.
I've never been called an alien before, that's new.
Alrighty then. So, no, he's more of a dwarf. I think we found over this.
Look, we established this already. I'm too being a dwarf.
Yeah, so you say. Okay, so 2 remaining.
Madhog is really just 2 dwarves, so on each of the shoulders.
Look, I just thought it sounded funny for me to just to blurt out, I want a divorce, and it was. So I was right.
Okay, so that is going to be Chloe.
Oh gosh, I have 3 things I must do.
Right.
Well,
so next week then.
Okay. Okay. The first thing first that won't take too long will be to have Chloe visit Frank.
That meant I don't know what you're asking.
Chloe is currently. I'm sorry. Frank is currently in his workshop. Working on a bunch of new gadgets.
Yeah, you'll see his room is just like full of books and whatnot, and there's like a mess everywhere. There's hardly any chairs or anything that's not covered in stuff.
Yes, so that's kind of divorce-rated, pal.
You can hear "Somebody Once Told Me" being sung in the distance.
Oh god.
Okay, I'm done.
What?
Actually, I want this to be Manny's official entrance. He kicked the door of hell down while he's singing "Somebody Once Told Me" at the S of somebody. Just the door crashes down.
I would also like to add that at the front door, just outside the front door, that Bertie the dragon is just out there with a big doghouse with a name over the sign over the doorway. And,
awesome.
Amazing what we see in this house.
And he's just vigilantly gazing over the property.
They clip at the big red dog moment. I gotcha.
I like to think as soon as Chloe enters the yard, that Bertie comes in like like a happy dog.
You killed me once, but that's fine. I forgive you.
Okay, so Chloe's just gonna go over to Frank's door and knock on it really loudly because she knows that he's working.
And he's like, "Who's that at the door at this time? I'm busy." And Chloe, come right in.
Step right up. Step right up.
If Frank is working, as in Frank's previous conversation, he asked Remy to help him. Is Remy also in there, or is this...
No, this is later on. This is when you're on your
You've gone off.
trip.
You've gone off to your road trip.
On the other hand, this is a perfect time to interject with Icy Pal's comment. In Beachside, Shrek is a movie made by fairies based on Manny's life.
Oh,
What?
wow.
What is
but
a
another
movie?
movie.
What is a movie based off of Manny's
Shrek.
life in Beach?
Shrek.
Oh, Shrek. Yes, that makes sense. I hate Shrek. Thank you.
Could go worse.
Did you hate
Also-
Shrek when it came out, or do you hate it now?
I hate. Well, when it came out, I was too young and dumb not to hate it. But so now I do.
Okay, so
Okay,
Chloe,
so-
Chloe goes.
Frank's like, make yourself at home. He starts moving things off chairs. Do you want a banana chocolate milkshake, or are you more of a banana strawberry milkshake kind of gal?
What's with bananas?
I'll take the banana chocolate milkshake. She says questioningly.
He just goes like, off, makes a chocolate milkshake, but then he basically pulls out a banana, unpeels it, and just places it inside the milkshake and hands it to her.
She looks at him and goes like, "What kind of monster are you?"
What? It's healthy!
The milk would have been enough.
But bananas have a lot of potassium in them.
You're talking to a teacher, Frank. I know this.
Of course you do. He puts his finger on his nose and points at you, and then winks.
Careful, intelligence might just cripple you. And then Chloe uses intelligence to completely cripple Frank's body. Stop
Yeah,
it, please.
So
It's a random-
Chloe just kind of shakes her head and goes like, "Anyway, seriously, Frank. How have you been lately? What you been up to?"
Oh, you know, just working on things. Mainly preparing for a war against hell and such like that. To punch Lucifer in the face. That sort of thing.
Do fairies need potassium? Well,
Yeah.
it does enhance the sparkle.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Yes, thanks, I
Sparkle,
see part of that
motherfucker.
question of the evening.
I have a
Yeah,
whole
Chloe
Ask
just
a
kinda-
Fairy section on my Discord for questions like that.
Right, so then Chloe kind of looks to the side, like, "Yeah, hell. About that." She says, "Well, look at Frank."
War's been cancelled. Bad Tuesday.
And Bison
Double
said
booked.
he couldn't make it.
We double booked.
Yeah.
What elsewhere?
Anyway, so, it's a very Frank. Hello? Danton?
I was waiting
Yeah?
for you.
I asked you a question.
What
I
question did
basically
you ask?
I basically asked the question about hell. Yeah, about hell, about that.
Yes, you keep
That's a
saying.
hell of a question.
What,
Eh?
what about hell?
It's hot.
Well, question about your motivation, about doing the right thing and justice and all that, and finding the truth, as you said multiple times to people who've asked you. But I question. I myself have been curious about all this time that I don't think anyone's ever thought about asking. And
Yep. Yeah, go ahead. What is it?
well, I was wondering, how did you come to this point in your life to make this choice?
Did you say how?
Yes, because
Because
it seems like no offense, Frank. It seems like you do everything on a whim that rhyme or reason most times. Like you just do it on your feelings.
well, sometimes it is like that. It's just a long time ago when I used to be a doctor. A patient came in needing an operation to save his life, and there came a warning from a note that said, "Do not try to save his life, or you will regret it." I ignored it, continued, and the operation was going well. But then, suddenly, without warning, his pulse started to rapidly decline. No matter how fast I acted, he just died on the operating table in seconds. And the next day, the board directors called me in, and since he died on my watch, they fired me, and then without being able to defend myself, they also stopped any investigation from happening. So I was thrown out, disgraced, and I wasn't allowed to. What are you putting on, Madhog?
Just music. Just
All right.
carry on.
All right. Anyway, they put all the blame on me and marked me as a disgrace to medical science. So, and ever since then, I've just basically wanted to stop injustices like that from happening, and possibly find some answers out. Hence why I become a private investigator.
Right.
But if you're referring to what started all this, then it started with the old man, as I mentioned before. He wanted me to find some small red jewels, and while I was at it, investigate a group of misfits who were stealing these gems from all over the beachside. Information was hard to come by, and there was really no paper trail. And anyone who I originally talked to of odd incidents that were happening would suddenly change their tune entirely. Even
that might have something to do with the fact we changed dimensions.
Even trying to find the old man himself was a bust, as he wanted to remain anonymous, and when I asked around, no one knew who he was, or you know. So I was trying to figure it all out, because none of it made any sense, you see. And but before I could even figure that out, a huge fiery demon came out of nowhere, and I barely escaped my life that day. And
You mean the destruction of Beachside?
Yes, I was there, but I barely, as I said, I was barely escaped my life that day. And but when I finally awoke, because I was injured very badly, I was in another town and a new world that had fairies in it, and the beachside I knew was gone. However, this new world that I saw before my eyes from the news and whatnot, it was far too interesting to leave alone. I want to learn more about it, so I resolved myself to get back on my feet ASAP to see what the fairy folk were like. To that end, I had to defend a fairy from being framed for murder. I also brought to light corruption within the government, as well as since they were working with the mafia and other organizations to demonize the fairies. These actions, among other ones, led Miss Eliza to me, a young lady who claimed that she wanted to hire me to find an amulet called the Amulet of Vanaheim. She said that it would be somewhere in Alfheim, which used to be Beachside. And
I know.
yes. And she said that she hoped finding it would bring peaceful coexistence between humans and fairies. Well, without thinking much of it, I accepted the job, mainly because it was the epicenter of all the mysteries that were happening, as well as where if this amulet could bring peace, then it would be a win-win. However, when I found all the pieces of the amulet and put them together within the ancient fairy tomb of Vanaheim herself, Eliza then revealed her true colors as an emissary of heaven. She used me to find the amulet because she could not find them herself. She wanted the power of the amulet to stop the fairies' plans from succeeding. Before she could take it, however, a man with horns and cloven feet appeared from a fiery hole. He also wanted the amulet. They got into an argument about who would get the glory, and with quick thinking I tricked them, and I ran as fast as I could, but I damaged the entrance before I left to bury them both. But after that, I decided that it'd be a good idea to wear the amulet to keep it hidden, Well, it did protect me from Francis at least, but the bad part was it's now bonded to me. And it can be a little awkward to wash myself in the shower, not to mention the whole will destroy my soul thing if it were pulled forcefully from me. But swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, just like Warren said to you, I believe.
Yeah. But it was... Then after that, I decided that I probably should keep a low profile, and I stayed in a motel to rest a bit while I assessed the situation and figure out how a huge cathedral could appear out of thin air. Just as I was thinking about investigating the cathedral, however, I had an unexpected visitor at my door, and there stood Miss Kelly after what had happened to me. The way she looked at me, I didn't trust her at all. As soon as I laid eyes on her, I could tell she wanted something from me, but I was courteous, and I played dumb. We talked for a bit, and she expressed me wanting to hire me to investigate Sanchez's death. And the way she worded it made me believe that he was murdered. I was also asked to look into Sydney's illness as well, since it appeared the two were closely linked in some way. And that's how I came into your company.
I'm guessing that Kelly didn't offer you much for the job, then.
Well, it would have got me a nice sandwich.
Wait, you mean you took a job involving an investigation of murder, a possible murder, for a sandwich?
It was a pretty good sandwich.
Sounds about right.
You know what? After seeing you eat the cheesecake when Demona just gave it to you, and without even you not knowing where it came from, and you just quite happily gobbled it up, I'm quite willing to believe that at this point. So, so what exactly drives you to make these decisions then? Simply put.
I'm just human. What?
I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest, than that, really. But to be honest, she says while giggling.
Well, I can't, like, put my view on everything and just say that that'll be my actions for the entirety of my life. I have to consider all sides of an argument. Like I'm doing now, I've basically thrown my lot in just because I believe that you are in the right, and that's all I need. I know I'm not important in any way, and to be honest, I just stumbled in here, and people just seem to want to use me as a tool or change me for their own ends. And sometimes I just feel I'm more in the way than anything, but I still want to try. I want to... What?
You feel what you feel is right as you, and as long as you're doing what's right without causing any pain or oppression to others, and you're in the way, and you're certainly an asset to be as yourself than what anyone else should tell you to be.
Thank you, Miss Chloe. You're very kind.
That's I'm not being kind. I'm just being me. That's all.
Sometimes just being you is all you need to be.
I know that. Believe me, I've known that for a long time from learning from my students over the years that I've taught.
Yes, my mother used to be a teacher, so I have an understanding of that.
Oh, is she still teaching?
No, I'm afraid not. She's gone from this world. After my father died, she was never the same.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It happened a long time ago, now. Or at least it feels a long time ago.
I see. I understand. She says as she looks towards the side and goes like, well, that's all I really came here for because I had a good read on everyone except you, really, when it came to reasons, any reasoning of going into hell and all that. Because I just wanted to make sure that you were in it, you were putting your heart into it, you know, not just in with empty sentiments, essentially.
Miss Chloe, I don't believe in countries, organizations, or religions. I believe in and support private individuals in the hopes that helping those people who are lost or blind to their own actions, that hurting others as well as themselves, so then they don't just bet themselves, but like a set of dominoes, each good turn will rub off onto more people and will spread. So then we can build a better world together through united diversity. Or at least that's my hope.
Right. Right then. Well, it was nice. It was nice, Frank. It was a nice chat, Frank. Sorry to bother you about such silly things like this, but
anyway. No worries. I like chewing the fat sometimes.
No, like crackers.
I was actually expecting to go, I had a dream. One day, little fairy folks will slip.
I had a dream.
I expected more of that from Chloe, to be honest.
So Chloe's just gonna go like. Also, picks up the drink and drinks it.
Hey,
thanks for the drink.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Oh man,
She just
I'm liking what Icepel's writing so far. So charge and attack, going to hell and back. Oh, gather around me and listen while I speak. Oh, war where hell is 6 feet deep.
That man, dude.
Yes, Sabotage. He knows our band. Not mine, he knows the band. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
your band.
yeah, so Chloe basically, takes the banana, eats it, and then goes off.
She's gonna take a banana and eat it!
Oh no! No!
Chocolate milkshake covered banana and eat it.
So dumb. I'm leaving this campaign forever.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on, don't say that, Madhog. You know you love it.
You know you
Yes,
want
it's
to
Keikaku.
Okay, so...
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so that's one of the possible to do, because I have one or two more things, depending if we actually want to do the second thing, but the third thing I wanted to do was have a special sermon to all the people, essentially, of Alfheim.
Sure, you can do that, and then we'll see what kind of time we have after that. We want to make sure we have time for Demona.
Yeah, I know, that's the only concern, hence why I thought about skipping, the Chloe going back to visit her family, or have it off screen at least.
Well, we'll see.
Yes, your family that was never mentioned before.
Anyway, so
Well mentioned.
It was?
Remy
was.
even didn't visit his family, and there's 4 other family members in there.
yes.
Yes, you actually told Frank all of them.
You did.
Yes, you did, in the car.
I don't
Anyway.
think I've ever mentioned their names during this campaign.
No, you didn't. You just call them Daddy, Mommy, and Brother and Sissy.
Yep, pretty much.
Bro, yep.
Miss
Family name.
Eustace, Muriel,
Yeah.
Courage.
So yeah, Chloe basically, announces that she's holding a special sermon for all the people of Alfheim. So,
Okay. So,
Remy's going to listen it
so
on the
most
car
of the
radio.
residents of Elfheim took out. By this time, the population has blossomed to 2 million.
Wow.
2 million!
wow.
We've been busy.
Chloe,
Mm.
Chloe's gas seeing so many people. It's like, okay, did I really? I didn't realize we had this many people.
They all gathered to this on the...
Yes, apparently so.
And it's going on the radio, so everyone can hear it.
I have nothing better to do.
Yeah. So yeah, Chloe basically goes up to the stand where she's supposed to be, sort of thing.
Hold on, let me change music.
Oh gosh, I made this speech in like 30 minutes, so we'll see how this-
Fantastic.
Oh, for him, it's a record.
No, not well. It's gonna be crap, most likely, but still, let's see how it goes.
Record for him, he just needs hours.
Yeah. So she starts off going like, seeming a little nervous, going like, "Good day, everyone. I trust all of you have been well as of these recent times. Well, I would hope so. Oh god, you can't answer me because you're too far away. It certainly feels like it's been a while since I last talked with you all like this. I know this past year has been hard on everyone, needing to settle into a new home and community, world such as ours, having to find a way to make ends meet and live life in happiness in a place filled with uncertainty, or whether you would feel like you belonged here. I always worried about whether everyone here who came to Alfheim would feel happy here, or if you all found your life fulfilled in some way, or even a place that you all felt accepted with people that truly understood you, a home to call your own. I must confess, taking on the title of Fairy Queen was probably the most scariest thing in my life, as before I was just a teacher who imparted my own knowledge and wisdom to the younger generation, and suddenly jump into a situation where I had to do that, but with other intense situations on top of that, I could never imagined I would be handling ever in my lifetime. However, I never once regretted taking this step that day, even when I was dealing with my own personal strife or had to sort out a mess that fell into my lap. Sometimes at the same time, even. Not a day went by that I thought of quitting ever, even when others thought otherwise. I want to say something to all of you. I am sorry. From day one, I was more concerned with the situation I had, dealing with all the necessary things in order for us to have this land, the place to be our home, that I genuinely neglected to do the one thing that I should have been doing but kept putting off, because if I did, I was afraid I would lose you all and this place we worked so hard to build together. So, with that in mind, there is one more task I must complete. A task so important that everything else had to be put on the back burner. However, out of all this, I want you all to know that once we have made it to the end, and we are still here together, I promise I will be your queen, and actually spend time with all of you, all 2 million of you by looks of it, and have fun, since I have neglected that for too long. So please, wait for me just a little longer, so that we can all smile, play, and maybe even find what's special to us in this crazy world that we plan to make together. Thank you so much for your time, and please continue to have fun and take the edge off of your daily lives when you can, without causing much oppression. Good, thank you, she says.
And you get
She says while bowing.
a standing ovation from everyone in the crowd.
You should roll for that.
No.
Oh, screw you.
Also,
Oh my
Demon
God.
Nox was snorking along in the comments.
Right, let me see what you've been snarking about. Okay, cross and where no soldiers. Oh wait, that's what he said ages ago. Today we celebrate our Independence Day.
I was speaking that at the very beginning of this discourse, actually.
That's what Icy Pals put at the very beginning of this discourse.
Icy Pal, we are much more in the same wavelength than initially thought.
While Demonox basically was in the chat saying, having babies! It's open season, boys! So fall alive!
All 2 million of you!
The thing though, when I wrote that down, he said, "And I will see to I'll see to all of you having fun."
Oh come on!
You're in your dirty mind.
Okay, so apparently, you know, I'm on the same wavelength as Demonox.
What?
When he's not dying.
Okay, so what was everybody saying?
And Remis, who is listening this speech from his car radio, search a single tear while drinking Coca-Cola.
Playing with a Happy Meal toy.
Ross.
Yes.
Roll to decide which character from Atlantis he got from Happy.
I don't know any of them. I've never seen the movie.
There's Milo, then there's Kira, I think. Then there's the guy who's played by Patrick Stewart.
You got the dynamite guy, okay?
No, he's got Molière.
Yeah, Molière. But
That.
Okay, so
sorry, I couldn't help myself. That was so perfectly well timed.
Continue.
That was so perfectly well timed that I typed that in.
Yeah.
Well,
I timed it perfectly for when you said, "I will see to something that I've been neglecting and putting off for ages." That's it.
oh man. Okay. Anyway, so it is now let's see, it's 10:22.
Let's just go to Demona.
Yeah,
I don't want to take up too much time. I don't want to take too much time now.
Because we may come back to Chloe if there's enough time after Demona stuff.
Yeah, probably not, but still.
I don't think mine's will take that long.
We'll see. So the ball is now in your court, Demona.
Hey. Well, I guess I'll do the one thing I can possibly do at the time, and I shall go find her.
Her?
Satana.
Oh my.
Satana.
It sounds like you're trying to basically say a character from a character select screen in a fighting game.
Satana.
Oh, that was so cool.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Chloe.
Manny.
No, Manny will never sound of fighting.
Rennie.
Dungeon Master.
What?
He'd be a cheat code.
Oh, okay.
The TM would be the cheat code.
Okay, and I guess Manny defeated Cindy with friendship.
More like
Defeated Cindy with babality.
So you make your way to a familiar hideout.
Hell no hell. On what?
The location of it, of course, is a closely guarded secret. Not even those close to you in the church have any idea of where you could be found. For this was a personal quest of yours. And you did not want anyone trying to interfere with your business here. As you work your way through the hideout, which is being disguised, at least in its public face, as a daycare center, you find through the basement to the road to the catacombs underneath that you see some new recruits training. Even by the standards that you witnessed before you left, you seem like a relatively poor batch. They don't seem to have the killer instinct that ones in this profession would need. You don't expect them to do well.
Wow. I knew you.
Mine was truly the best generation of killers.
It seems things. Looks like the standards have gone down even further.
So as you work your way through, you knew when you were still here that by this time you would have been shot dead, but no one seems to be standing in your way. It's almost as if there is no one to stand in your way.
I won't be new to I keep heading my way down to where I know she's actually staying, where she is.
So you, of course, know Satana's chamber. Everyone does. And everyone steers clear of there.
Satana's
unless they absolutely
chamber.
have to.
I can't
But
Really
today,
imagine,
It's aligned with
first-
skulls and hats.
but today, for the first time, you decided to approach it.
Yep.
Kick the door.
Somebody wants control.
Right. Yeah. I was
Sorry,
quite
I'm
friendly,
sorry,
honestly.
Demonox. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, when you arrive at the chamber once again, if this were back when you were around, any chance of you walking into here alive would be
Slim. None.
would be slim to none, yes. However, again, no one opposes you. You don't know, you find this curious. You have your guesses as to why this might be, but still cautiously, you decide to open the door, gun drawn. I'm sorry, your, not gun. I mean, it'd be kind of futile at this point, so you basically have your Fey Rapier drawn ready to channel spells through it should it be necessary. Inside, you see a elegant but not lavish dwelling. It's certainly better than one would expect considering the dreary conditions of the rest of the hideout. However, it's not so
Audacious.
as to be excessive. It is well kept, functional, but still shows a great level of pride and success to its inhabitant. And of course, inside is a face that has become familiar to you, sipping a cup of tea, almost as if she expected your visit.
Is she lifting the pinky up?
Yeah, yes, sure.
She's British.
Oh, this is the American branch, so
She simply welcomes you. Have a seat.
don't mind
Would you
if
like
I
a
do.
tea with a side of death?
And the Mona politely takes her hat off. It's polite for you. Don't wear your hat indoors.
Keep forgetting you have that damn
I can't
cylinder
say-
hat.
I can't say I'm surprised to see you. After all, the fact that you saw me in the field shows that there was something amiss to begin with, and I'm sure your curiosity would have gotten the better of you sooner or later. But
Yes,
still,
I did notice the new recruits outside.
yes, I must admit the quality of our recruits has gone down. It's been much harder to, how do I put, harvest promising individuals.
Well, they can't all be dropped off like I was.
Yes. As you can see, we're going through something of a manpower crisis as of right now, so because of that, we have many contracts, but few people able to fulfill them. Well, my last job was lucrative. I can't say that it was
No, not the guild's
overall
finest
worth
hour.
the amount of personnel it cost us overall. We're going to
No,
have to
I
lay
thought-
low for a while to rebuild the organization.
Well, I'm sure the other branches are doing better.
Well, truthfully, there's been a lot of discontent, as you know. Being the branch in the most powerful country on Earth, well, we also happen to have the cream of the crop as far as contracts were concerned, and we were certainly the greatest breadwinners among all of the branches of the organization. Now that that is in jeopardy, there's been a power vacuum, so to speak, and many within the organization are now vying to fill it.
I suppose then it'll take you quite a few years to sort this mess out.
Yes, assuming I were to be on long enough for that. Truth be told, considering the amount of personnel that we lost, there are those in the organization that are calling for me to be replaced.
I'm sure any such discontent will vanish in the usual way.
Normally I would say yes, however, because of how strapped for resources we happen to be around here, should they make a concerted effort, they might actually succeed, which does present a share of problems. Honestly, I have half a mind to just simply abandon this location and start anew somewhere else. But I wasn't going to do that until at least you turned up.
Oh, don't tell me you're going to have to have those wet blankets attack come after me next. Those might stab themselves.
Relax. I'm not... You being there was a happy accident, but that certainly was never our intention. Truth be told, I intentionally made sure our agents did not pursue you. Because, if I'm going to be brutally honest, I knew you would be back one day. As you stand before me right now.
One second, I just need to clear my throat.
No problem.
I like to think she's being serious and threatening, but then Demona actually starts coughing awkwardly.
Is she gonna start offering her, like, Skyrim, basically? You are the new head of the Assassin's Guild!
No. See, simply said...
The Dark Brotherhood. Yes. That's the best storyline.
That's the name of my game.
So, as, my standing in the current guild is tenuous at best, and you have forged a rather unusual set of connections, I have a proposition for you.
Oh?
Would you be willing to begin a new organization centered out of your lovely Alfheim? You know, the same type of work, but you can certainly make sure that the contracts would be furthering the purpose of your kind, so to speak.
I'm pretty certain the contracts would never really change, to be honest. Fairy or man, one's lust for powers always need a darker hand.
Most certainly. And again, it is beneficial for both of us. You, with a bit of time and training, gain a force that will be able to smoothly guarantee the expansion and influence of your organization. And the same end, I find myself in a sovereign nation that is staffed by some of the most powerful beings in the world today, both politically and magically. Literally, indeed. I cannot think of a safer place for myself to hide out.
So essentially, you're asking me to grant you shelter.
I'm asking you to grant me shelter, and of course to turn a blind eye to, a potential dealings that would be needed to grow my organization back from the brink. You know, the type of things that we need to do to get off the ground by now.
Yes, I remember all too clearly how the organization grows. Well, I must admit, this is a very intriguing proposition you have presented.
I must say, I've been actually taken aback by the amount of growth that you have. I never thought that becoming one of the fairy folk would grant you boons in this way.
Yeah. As I say, I'm one of the more rarer exceptions to that statement. But I appreciate the compliment.
It seems like actually the innate abilities of a fairy are well suited for assassins, it appears.
Yes, though their happy-go-lucky nature does make them a little more squeamish when it comes to darker work.
Well, so are most children. I assume we'll just have to use the same tactics to be effective.
Sorry, I'm gonna go with something really into my throat.
No problem.
Well, this is a very interesting proposition, though. Does Demona give her sanctuary inside Alfheim to which to grow a brand new organization? Granted, at any time she probably could crush or destroy it. And with the power of Master inside the cut in there's no... she wouldn't stand much of a chance. Even the guild wouldn't last long if they decide to turn against them. At the same time, there's that... this is essentially like saying, does she renounce her old life entirely, or does she offer a hand to her old family?
What would you call them, family, though?
In a twisted way.
In a very twisted way, considering that from an infant she has known nothing but the guild.
Yeah.
Everyone else, born to a hospital, she was found on the steps of the guild's other location and raised inside their halls.
I know I've put you on the spot, Alice, but I'm afraid time is of the essence here. I must have an answer from you before you leave.
Did you just call Demona Alice?
Yes.
Alright.
Interesting.
So, hold on. So you're implying that your real name is Alice, and yet your alias is Demona. Couldn't couldn't
Alice.
it have been the other way around? I mean, Alice,
No.
I mean, I'm just saying, Alice is a normal name. It doesn't attract attention.
It's
Not
extent-
cool enough.
No.
It's supposed to be symbolic because we don't know Diamonox's real name, so we don't know Demona's real name.
Your, your,
Da-da-da-da-da.
your take on symbolism is interesting.
Oh, let's face it. Besides, even if they're like a fake sounding name, if it's not the weirdest name that appears in America. There are
Yeah, it's
weirder
not.
names,
They are.
Yeah.
so it's not that uncommon.
Oh, it's uncommon, but still.
No, it is
And it's
extremely.
not that uncommon to have a weird name.
But okay, but the point still stands.
Right.
Let's make a decision, Demonox.
Yes, decision time. Do I accept her offer or don't I?
I like to think at this point, Demona is like does a very uncomfortable close up of Demona just looking around the room, you know, like looking up at around the ceiling, and you see the button prompts like X for yes, circle for no.
Yes.
We go to thing like yes, no, yes, oh, light side, dark side. Now, Demona is going to accept the offer.
Okay. She says, marvelous. I knew you wouldn't fail me in the end. There's a reason I've left you alive this long, and it looks like my judgment has paid off. Well
Well,
then.
it is. The fairway does allow some liberties in areas. As well. So I'm trying to say this thing, my throat's just.
Sorry. No.
Oh, God. All that laughing before was like hurt my throat.
Yeah, it's
But no. As I was saying, well, fairies are allowed certain liberties and allowed to do certain things. However, I will warn you that should you try to betray us or try to undermine us, I will inflict my own form of punishment, and there will be no guild.
Very scary.
This leans forward, like, and that is a promise.
He was like, yes, yes, Alice, very scary. Believe me, I know I'm going to your home turf, so I'm not gonna do anything to step on your heels.
Step on my what?
Step on your heels, she says.
Alright, step on
Yeah,
that.
you kinda
So, like,
cut out
cut
there.
off.
Sorry,
It's like,
no
step
problem.
on your. What can we
That
step
was
on?
weird.
Okay.
Okay, She just simply said, of course, as part of the agreement, I have the rating I need to acquire the resources, both material and human, to rebuild my organization. Correct?
Correct. Though I
Very
would
good.
recommend you recruit from outside, Al. As I said, most fairies are not cut out for this work.
Well, I beg to differ. I'm sure with just a little bit of convincing, they would make wonderful assassins.
turn them into the secret police.
Just
Ooh.
you have a creature that innately is gifted at illusion and lying. What more could you need from a for an operative of the underworld? And they can even fly.
Hell, pair of dance shoes.
Clothes.
Well, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Clothes. They tend to actually go around naked.
You were actually breaking up really bad. Give it a second. Sorry, my no, try again. Sorry, just hoping my stream stops being dopey.
Okay.
Okay, I can hear you better now. Okay.
Okay, can you use that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Okay. It's just like the case of like clothing. They do tend to go around naked.
Oh, that even is more wonderful. Simply because
What?
no, it simply says like
Really?
saves on money.
Oh, it does save on thing, but it would recommend them having at least some colder areas.
Well,
usually
isn't
warm in
your
that area.
Alfheim tropical all year round?
Yes, but the rest of the world isn't.
True. Of course, there will be training on that front, but that for just rank and file living, it saves quite a lot. Especially with the problem of recruits growing up and needing new clothing. That's always a financial burden.
Tell me about it. I remember the training. We went through what?
And
A few hundred outfits?
yeah, I mean, it's almost like we have to buy new outfits for them every other day.
Well, the ones that
If they would
survive
just
anyway.
get better at dodging the blades, that wouldn't happen.
A bit morbid.
Okay, Piccolo.
Dodge! So you'll see from the other room like, dodge!
Well, it's going to take me a few weeks to make the preparations to leave here and to send my my departure message to the organization. Let's just say when I leave, I want to make sure that they feel it.
Oh.
Of course. It's only fair. It's only polite, after all.
Mm-hmm. So I will make sure to send an informant when I'm in town, so that we can go about the
Proper.
yes, the procedures of scouting a location. Until then, take care of yourself. You certainly have recruited a hardy band to your side.
Yes,
Truthfully, I didn't think you were going to be able to defeat that Kelly. She was stupid and obsessed, but she did have a great deal of power.
Yes. Well, my lot might be foolhardy at times, but they are very good at what they do. Even that muscle head one, Manny, him.
He seemed like
you're
he would
what
be
I want about, the one who went running
particularly
toward.
annoying to me.
He is just sort of thinking like those out there, just sort of like you know they're there, but you don't really pay attention until they actually need to be looked at.
And he
you
certainly
get my
wouldn't
fine.
have gotten very far in our organization, that's for sure.
Oh, no,
he
I
would
don't
have
give
been
him a
killed
week. I
day
give him a-
2.
Yeah, I was being generous. I would have given him a week. Then he would have been killed.
Okay, so I love that after this whole entire campaign, which was 1.5 years in game time, her opinion of Manny has not changed in the freaking slightest.
Not really. No.
Well,
You do tend to like go up a little bit. You like start inch towards like respect, and then Manny does something stupid. It's like respect lost, going down.
Well, you know,
Actually,
a couple of times. Manny tried a couple of times to befriend you, but you were impossible.
One.
Well,
Actually, twice.
Well, yeah. Also, you did kind of lose that when you had Manny play out a whole. You killed me. I can't trust you anymore, despite the fact I was mind controlled.
It did kind of start jumping up and down, saying, "You killed me!" At me that more a fair bit, and started shunning her. So you kind of threw yourself backwards.
Okay.
I lent a bone here. I want, in the whole situation, I tried desperately not to.
What?
He tried desperately not to be the killing you. You said he wanted to knock you out or something.
Look,
Exactly, I was
all
gonna
I know
knock it
is
out.
that
You're gonna live.
all I know, we're going to fight hell together for crying out loud.
Yeah, basically.
Yep. Don't worry. I'll make certain to at least make certain you come back alive. That way you can get the divorce divorce proceedings.
I am not divorcing you. I'm divorcing Cindy. What the hell?
Yeah, but you're not. You get. Wow, you don't even have a house. You have to live somewhere else.
I mean, I'm sure they must have barracks. You know, the guards.
I thought he had the
You've got the room in the tower.
in the cathedral.
Look,
Yeah, he
I
has
am
a room in the
look,
cathedral.
I have a room. Okay, I have a room in a cathedral, and also I am close friends with the queen, so getting a place to live is not going to be a problem.
I wouldn't say close friends there.
Yeah, Demona's the close friend of Chloe.
Okay, so
I'm the
We're
close friend.
all
You're the
close.
associate.
We're all close friends and party members. I mean, we wouldn't want our queen to play favorites, would we?
fair enough.
No, of
Okay,
course not.
so that is
Chloe and
Demona's side.
Solomon is OC. OP, or what it was.
OTP.
OTP.
Man. So that concludes these side stories. So all of the so it is shortly before the eve of the battle. It's December 28th.
Can I have gotten some training off Satania before I leave?
No.
Damn.
It took you that time to travel back and forth because it was quite some distance away.
Well, at least you did not travel to Missouri.
True. It could have been in Missouri. I'm not telling.
No, it was
But the thing
in
is-
Springfield.
She could have hitched a ride from Remy when he was driving back.
Demona, what are you doing here?
Seeing the sights.
Okay.
Wanna
so,
ride?
When some of you stating Alfheim the whole time, Chloe, and Frank.
Frank.
And
Manny.
and Manny, so they noticed that the reality has changed once again. You guys actually feel it this time. It's actually disorienting as opposed to happening without your immediate notice.
Gosh.
And this time, the Alfheim has expanded greatly in size. And more importantly, you have a army. An army
Wow,
of
that's
2
new.
million fairies. Armed
Wait,
with
the
futuristic
entire-
weaponry.
Wait, the
Future
entire
government.
freaking population is fighting?
No.
No, it's an extra 2 million guys have appeared.
Yeah, it's essentially 2 million fighting fairies.
With futuristic
Jeez,
weapons.
And
Jesus.
you notice that they are wearing what looks to be some kind of insulated power armor. And they have some kind of futuristic looking gun.
Well, there's actually now 1,999,000. That's one guy gets stripped of all his armor. Ah! No!
You notice that the barracks of the fairy the Fae Guard are much bigger and more robusting equipment.
I hope so.
All of you will be able to easily acquire this armor and weapon before you storm
Yay!
hell. Basically, as you look over the specifications for it, due to your curiosities, you find that the armor provides about as much armor as the magical breastplate.
The
that
adamantine
you're
that
currently
man is wearing.
Oh.
However,
so-
the main advantage of it is since it's insulated, it keeps out external forces, including miasma.
Alright.
Oh. So,
So
we are-
necessity if you're fighting against hell. Remember what happened with the archdemons.
Yes.
so not only do you
So
get -5 damage,
So we are going to get a
anti-damage.
protection against the poisonous miasmas and the such
Yes.
like.
Yes.
Good.
You saw
so-
what not even being assaulted, just being in hell did to Cindy.
Yeah.
I'd have to go mad mode like continuously, and even then I'm not sure it would actually work.
So, you're very happy about that, and looking over your soldiers, they seem to be highly trained and not only have skill with the futuristic guns that they have, but also have a fair hand at magic as well. You think they would be easily a match for any non-archdemon, and with a concerted group effort could easily take down an archdemon.
Nice. I mean,
Nice.
2 million. Jeez. Okay.
Well, they are going to have to fight the
plus
big battle.
Plus all the NPCs who are still alive are going to join in.
Sure, why not?
Cool.
Well, at least all the ones that have any fighting ability.
So we got nice, -5 armor, anti-miasma.
Yeah. Miasma resistance and -5. That means that I will take -9 damage to any.
No, this does not stack with any armor that you have on, so you cannot wear anything else in with this.
I finally get to see this Riley I've heard so much about.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the Dev's on about the armor ring he's got.
The ring of protection I'm wearing.
Yeah, the
with
ring of
the,
protection you can keep.
That's what I mean.
But like the Fey armor does not work with
No,
this.
we haven't stacked that bit. That's not what we've stacked.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware.
In that case, it'd be 9
And also the gun that you get, which I will describe next session, will be a significant upgrade to your Fey pistol, so you're not going to really have room for that.
Okay.
And of course, all the Fey guards still symbolically carry a rapier.
Okay, I didn't know we were getting armor, so...
Yeah.
Because one of the things I listed as inventions was basically I was making exoskeleton armor, heavy armor myself.
Yes, you notice that the design for this looks scarily similar to yours, except that you did not make it basically airtight for the miasma resistance.
I can just see Frank looking at it going,
Did someone look over my shoulder and steal my design?
God damn it! We pandas first. Oh, god damn it! I spent 2 weeks on this thing!
Maybe it's you from the another dimension.
Frankie! Frankie!
Not the darkness.
I'm not Jacket.
Your soul is mine.
Come out to play!
But basically, considering the design of this miasma-proof armor is very similar to yours, you're able to easily mod it to fulfill the specifications of your mech suit, along with giving equipment slots for all of the necessary good things.
Oh, good.
You tinkered with yours. You voided the warranty.
It's what you do.
Nope, that warranty is voided.
Was it?
Okay.
Thanks the inventor for this.
And now the stage is set for the final battle.
Yay.
And now it's time for the final battle.
It's going to be slime, man! Actual final boss.
I want... Because if we're going to make a speech, then that would be our Independence Day.
Yeah.
I wonder how many faces there are going to be.
We have an army of futuristic fairy paladins on our side.
I cannot wait to see who's the final boss. That's going to be great.
I'm sure it's Lucifer,
The reach to the teeth for the kill machine where I need to bleed when the light shines green.
Yes, thank you, Imperial Guard song.
Okay, so, questions, comments about today's session?
Okay. One question about what would have happened if I had declined her offer?
She would have let you go. For now.
For now.
For now.
But,
Your soul is mine!
assuming you survive this excursion, she
By the way,
probably
if we don't
would
win,
have
she's
come
screwed.
she probably would have come after you at some point.
But who cares? The campaign would be over. And
Yes.
Demona died off screen.
Oh, no.
Well, given my stats and that, I'm not actually sure, so it would have been a loss for me. I'm a slightly more magical person, and I've now got fantastic armor.
Yes,
I mean,
you're a badass assassin.
I mean,
I've got cool armor now.
you would still have a hard time taking Satania single-handedly.
It would be a bit more of a closer call. It would be a real
It might
toss-less
be
coin here.
possible, but it's certainly not going to be easy.
Oh no, it'd be a hard fight regardless.
Yes. Okay. So,
I'm
yeah,
gonna say overall this session has been interesting in one way or another. Like times I didn't know how to react to certain things, and I must have to admit, Demonox actually went rather than going for the best choice, he went for the interesting choice.
yes, he did.
I actually rolled dice.
Oh, really? Okay.
You rolled dice for it?
Yep, I rolled a dice. I will roll a normal 20 5 times. If it was with odds and evens, if it was being even, I refused the offer. If it had been odds, I accepted. It came back as three odds to 2 evens. It was literally one dice roll difference.
Oh, my, that's interesting.
You're the only one that rolled for the entire night.
Yep, I did off screen too.
You off-screen rolled. You stealth rolled.
Stealth rolling.
That's
Specialty.
That's an interesting way to make important decisions. Technically, you don't even need to roleplay.
Well,
Let's face it. It was one of the. It was. I was umming and ahhing on the 2.
Technically, he did role play.
But now if we've dropped a little hint though that Demona's real name is Alice.
Hint, I outright said it.
Yes, but nobody else could hear it.
Yes.
I
No,
heard it.
And also,
I think
Players
he
know.
means no one was in the room.
I mean, the players know, but our characters don't.
yes.
Correct.
So
You don't know my
it's
full
going to be
name,
interesting So it's going to be interesting what happens next session because to see how this plays out because it's either going to be, we're going to be doing RTS-esque D&D.
Go! Lead the left flank.
So
Maybe not-
earlier on the Discord chat, I left an additional suggestion for playlist.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Cuphead Die House.
Yeah, okay. Tell me if the name Die House, the video gamey name ever for a theme.
Yeah, basically yes. I'll have to give it a listen. I still haven't decided on my musical choices for this yet.
Okay,
so.
it's basically a Cab Calloway inspired jazzy number with a really good old-fashioned song inspired again from the Fleischer era of animation. And surprisingly, the singer is a woman. You wouldn't be able to say that to tell by listening to it.
Gotcha.
Maybe like Cuphead's song for the dice house.
Paradise is actually in the chat.
Hi,
No.
Paradise.
Hello there.
Hello, Paradise.
Well, that's surprising.
Yes.
Who?
Yeah,
He's been
It's
actually
nice.
popping in my streams fairly often recently. I've been surprised.
Yeah.
The Paradise of Paradise and Fairies is real.
Which we did this before, this joke.
Yes.
Oh, so there's more than one person in that. Okay.
Don't confuse poor Matty. He'll get confused. He'll be searching for the wrong.
Lies, he says. Alright,
All the lies.
so
yeah, that's
Manny, you were going to say something besides the background noise about the session, or about the?
Music.
I
Well,
know about the music, but
the music. I mean, you all have our favorites and our suggestions, including that Serious Sam tune from last week. For about this session in particular, I mean, it went about as well as I was expecting it to go. I mean, considering none of us had dice to actually decide anything important. Well, aside from Demonox, but that was off-screen. Technically, it's non-canonic dice rolling.
Non-canon dice roll.
So, yes, I'm glad I got to resolve a arc that was brewing in the background without any of us actually noticing.
Mm-hmm.
Next time you heal your daughter.
Okay, one thing I will request of you guys is, send me your musical suggestions via PM, because I'm gonna lose them if they're just scattered around the, chat.
True. Those get...
Is that like a musical successor for the final boss or something?
Yeah, for the, for basically Hell is what I'm...
Essentially, send the sort of tracks you want him to try and go for.
So I'll listen to it and, make my decisions.
I do am wondering if it's going to be one more session.
So, the way that it's structured, it's extremely unlikely you'll be able to get through my scenario in one session. So that's why the final battle begins on session 49 and will be concluded on session 50. Most likely.
Wow. Do we get a level up in session?
What was that?
A level up in the middle. We get a level up in the middle of it.
No.
Session ended. Hey, level up. Stop leveling up.
That'd be like if I gave you experiencing stat ups for killing the final boss of the campaign.
Well,
like I know games that do that, and I just look like what?
I know.
Games without New Game Plus or anything that do that.
I've been playing Divinity Original Sin. It's like in the middle of the fight, it's like I'm dying. It's like you leveled up. Oh, click, 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 click. My guys are now stronger than you.
I was actually say, didn't you say if we tied up loose ends that there would be boons involved, or
It was.
or you said, or you mean the actual main storyline thing was the only boon in all this? Because it made it sound like
you will get personal boons, but we're just running short on time, so.
Ah, right.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm glad I had that personal storyline to conclude.
You've had many storyline bits in your...
Yeah, and none of them have been really well concluded.
Well, to be fair, you designed your character to be kind of a jokey throwaway character, so you know.
Hey, at least you had something to conclude.
I mean, it's just that your character entered this campaign on a fairly late moment.
And
so...
I apologize for that, but that's kind of how things came out.
Yeah.
Regardless, so I'm going to be writing... I better be writing tons of flavor text this coming week, and if for some reason that I am not in the mental ability to do that, I will definitely I may hold back a week so I have time to do it. So there's a possibility if I am running behind that we will not stream Beachside next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will, of course, keep everyone posted as I make progress. Or not,
Okay,
die.
So I've sent you my couple of suggestions for songs.
Good.
In one can be used as for cutscenes, and the other is more appropriate for boss fights.
Gotcha. I'm going to be doing tons and tons and tons of flavor text. I mean, a lot of this is going to be flavor text scripted because I kind of want to paint a vivid mental image.
Hey, this this is hell. It burns. It's hot. My gosh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Better than that.
Okay.
Okay. So, any other comments before we conclude the stream?
No.
Somebody once told me.
Does anybody want an aubergine chocolate milkshake?
Ovaltine, ew.
I said
Aubergine.
aubergine.
Aubergine. What is even aubergine?
Aubergine.
Well, yeah, you know, for the sake,
tangerine?
actually, yes, I'd like that, and thus we conclude the ice cream arc. Now that is wrapping up a storyline.
Okay, well, thank everyone in the chat that's actually stuck. Oh god, fucking Paradise likes Ovaltine?
Ovaltine's amazing, he says.
You're breaking up constantly, Ross.
No, I was hissing!
Ovaltine's amazing!
Oh.
Ovaltine is awful! Oh god! Oh,
I don't even know what that is.
Oh. Okay, so everyone else in the chat, thank you so much for watching, and those who watch on YouTube, and of course our, probably most consistent fan, Icy Pal, and, again, thank you so much for the financial support over the last few weeks. You really have no idea how much that helped. I was pretty much...
Ovaltine is a brand of milk flavoring product made with malt extract, sugar, and whey. Some flavors also have cocoa.
It's awful. Anyway, but definitely need to thank Icy Pal again, because Icy Pal is awesome, and he really helped me out, like, more than he could have imagined. Like, that was going to be a really tight weekend. He made it work, so yay, thank you. And to, of course, our intrepid players who have stuck out this bizarre fairy-themed campaign almost to the end. Except for Matty, who bailed like twice and then came back.
But I've been with you in spirit.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
That's nice.
I was good, really honest.
Alright, and I hope you will join us as we reach the finale of Beachside, a Team Yume adventure.
Ooh.
In the universe.
It's been a long time coming. I was starting to lose hope, but we've got here eventually.
Yes.
We're about to enter despair.
No,
yes.
maybe.
Ultimate despair.
We're not going to
Junko is not the final boss.
Monokuma is the final boss. A giant.
I do have a feeling Lucifer is not going to be the big boss.
I mean, it would be too obvious. Let's face it.
Yeah, it's like we're...
Oh my god!
Faces.
It's Paycheck Brown, isn't it? He's been rotting in hell!
God damn it, this guy has a name!
Growing powerful!
He actually has a goddamn name!
I don't care. I don't care, it's Paycheck Brown.
Anyway,
You people!
The minions of hell can't stand against...
Wouldn't it be awesome if the twist was it was Paycheck Brown all along?
No, because that's the last minute villain that has no build up.
I mean, he can shout basically, "It was me, Manny! It was me all along!"
His name is goddamn Curtis Smith, okay? Curtis fucking Smith.
It's Fluffy Bottom Stash.
Oh, you're funny, Matty. I'm good.
Okay, and the final boss is definitely not Cthulhu.
Well,
Yes.
that would be weird. What is Cthulhu doing in hell? He should be at the bottom of the ocean.
Yep,
No,
pretty much.
No,
I'm
And
thinking there's
Cthulhu's
going
an
to be at
alien,
least
not demon.
there's going to be at least 2 phases in the final boss. I mean, Lucifer has to turn into that 7-headed dragon that is mentioned in the Book of Revelations.
I expect, you know what? I expect Mephiles to fuse with Iblis, then we fight Space.
Sonic, this is not.
Yes. Even Iblis can't go against the power of Mab. Nymph Mab.
No, wait, Riley is the final boss.
Well, to be fair,
Shit, you guys would be fucked.
to be fair, not even Mab can go against the power of awesome symphonic metal music for the final boss.
No, okay, so
it's
Icy
not
Pal
that,
says,
but-
no, wait, Riley will be the secret final boss.
Oh yeah, it's...
Oh, you guys would be so fucked. You'd be like, we're gonna fight you, Riley! Riley's gonna be like, don't you want to buy this aloe vera mix instead? And you're like, yes, actually we do.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
And then poisons you with the aloe vera and you die.
I mean, Riley did impregnate Sarah, so.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. I wonder what's happening with that family.
They're currently still trying to find the mother.
I'm also going to predict that Titania and Mav won't join the fight and just rolling their thumbs.
No, the last thing we needed is a Deus Ex Machina for our epic final confrontation with the forces of hell or what.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, you can
We can do
speculate
this
all
one
you
by our
want,
own.
but you will find out most likely next week.
Cool.
Hopefully
Cool,
so.
cool, cool.
Side.
Is
So-
it go? Is it go? Wait. I get it. It's the biohazard from Sonic Adventure.
The bio lizard.
The bio lizard. Yes.
But do we get living loon?
What? Oh
But
well,
no.
that would be. Actually,
Live and Learn was Sonic Heroes, I believe.
No.
No,
No.
Sonic Adventure
Sonic
2.
Heroes is let me show you what I'm made of. Blasphemy.
Alright.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I mean,
anyway.
I use that song for my introduction to our Tales' Dramatis Lectio reading videos. You know, so I would know.
Icy Pal, no.
Oh god, I didn't see what you wrote.
Madhog wants Oberon to appear to turn it into a Deus Ex Machina. Wink,
Icy
wink
Pal,
face.
you're on thin ice, pal.
Oh no.
I do have a question actually, Ross.
Yes.
Did you come up with that power armor before I came up with the power armor?
Nope.
You gave him the idea, he went with it.
Not very much. Well, I knew I wanted an excuse not to have the archdemons just be able to sit there and kill the fairies just by existing. That would kind of turn the tide.
Yeah.
And the entire army was wiped out before I could even throw one punch.
So I was like, okay, what would be the justification? Oh, if it's just like insulated power armor or something. Well, that doesn't sound cool enough. I know, make it power armor. Oh wait a minute, didn't the character come up with power armor? Perfect.
I'm glad I could influence you in some way.
Yay. Okay, so I'm about to end the stream like super proper now, guys. For
Okay.
reals.
Yes.
Okay, good
Okay.
night.
Good night.
Bye.
Matrix
Bye.
Brown
Take
for
care,
final
everyone.
boss.
His
Good
name
night,
is
buddy.
Curtis Goddamn Motherfucking Smith.
Wow, that's a long name.